Is Pope Francis different from other popes in the past?
He's very different. He's the first non-European pope. His parents were immigrants. He lives very simply in a small apartment, quite different from the other popes.
Is there anything that he is doing that you would disagree with?
Well, he's very involved in social issues. He's the first pope who talked about climate change, and I think he's very progressive. Some people agree, some people don't. It's good to put those issues out, but it can be causing some people to not like what he is doing, and other people to be very happy about what he's doing.
Do you think his visits to regular people affect their lives?
I think it makes them feel closer to him because he seems more like a real person instead of a priest that lives up in a tower in an expensive, fancy place. He can relate to people on their own level, and I think that's a really good thing.
Did previous popes accept the LGBT community, and is Pope Francis any different?
He is very different in that he addresses all these social issues like immigration and LGBT, about capitalism. In the past, the LGBT community was not really accepted by general society, and churches are very slow to change, and yet Pope Francis is changing by being more accepting and talking about these things. So he's a very progressive pope, and I think he reflects the times because the times have changed and people are more accepting now.
Has Pope Francis impacted your life in any way?
He's made me think about things as far as what should the church be involved with and what should it not be involved with, and also about how I think about certain issues.
Would you want the next pope to be similar to Pope Francis? Why or why not?
I think we need to see what happens along the lines with this pope. I know there are people in America especially who are very angry with some of his positions. I would like him to concentrate a little bit more on the church itself as far as having married priests, women more involved, that sort of thing, and maybe not quite as much on the larger issues because I think many people have their minds made up about those things, and I'm not sure that he's able to change minds.
Do you believe Pope Francis will impact our world?
It's hard to say at this point. I think people respect him and look up to him and are listening to him. In some ways he's divisive because he is speaking about so many social issues. So I don't know what will happen in the future, but it is definitely a different pope than any pope we've had before.